If somebody had told me how important it is for me to spend more time with my mom and more time with my dad, I don't know what I would have said to them. But as you get older, I'm 72 now, as you get older, you see life different. But but sometimes when I talk to young people, I don't know if they fully listen. I know they're hearing me, and I know they want to understand what I'm saying, but sometimes they give you a look like it's not getting in all the way. It's not getting into their hearts all the way. And really, that's the way I think I was when I was young. If somebody had told me how important it is for me to spend more time with my mom and more time with my dad, I don't know what I would have said to them. But as you get older, I'm 72 now, as you get older, you see life different. But when your mom and your dad are gone, and then you lose the whole generation, the entire generation, all the aunts, all the uncles uh, from that generation are gone. We have no longer there's no longer the connection. I still have cousins and so on, but all the uncles are gone, all the aunts are gone, my parents are gone, and it leaves you with a very difficult. Uh, uh, I don't want to call it a feeling because it's not a feeling. It's an awareness of how fragile life is, how quickly life goes by. It was only yesterday they were there, all of them, and there was joy and laughter. They're all gone. So I'm going to give you some loving counsel, you that still have parents who are alive. God decided that the fifth commandment would be honor your father and mother. Think that that is the first commandment that he gives that deals with our relationships with humanity, with others. Because the first commandment is, thou shalt have no other gods before me. The second is, you'll not make unto thee any graven image. And the third is, don't take my name in vain. And the fourth is, give me a day a week. I want one day a week. And it's all what he wants from us. And then he focuses and says, honor your mom and dad. That's more important to him than all the other commandments. Because I think when we honor our parents, the Lord rejoices. Because, it's so important to him that he would give Moses that order and put it in the first 5 commandments. The last 5th commandment is about honoring. And it's the only commandment with a promise. None of the others are. It's the only commandment that says, so it'll be well with you. So you'll dwell long on the earth. It promises long life and good days. I have seen people who did not honor parents, and the tragedies and the pain and the problems they carried the rest of their life. I still know people today that just don't seem to ever know a joyful day, who did not honor their mom and dad, because they didn't understand how God looks at it. So Father's Day, why is Father's Day important? Because it reminds us of the commandment to honor. Honor doesn't mean, hello dad, how you doing? And then goodbye. I'll see you later. No. Honor means you take care of them. I gave my mom weekly, a financial gift every week. You say, you're Benny Hinn. No, no, it has nothing to do with this. Come on, please. Every week I would give her money because that's the way we honor. And my mom would say, I don't need it. I said, Mom, I need it. I want God to see me do it. I need it. Till the day God took her home. And, you know, I think about all the blessings I've experienced. The Lord told me, and I did not know my daddy would go so fast, or otherwise I would have taken care of him too. But the Lord told me to take care of two mighty men of God for 20 years. I think I'm still here because of that. I give those two mighty men of God every single month a check from the ministry as they were getting older in life. You know, sometimes people talk about, you know, it's amazing you're still here, you're still around. Well, there's a big reason for it. I think that's one of them. Maybe a real big reason is that I honor those men of God as fathers in the spirit. But listen, I think it's time to really remind all of you, as my brothers and my sisters, of the importance of this truth. Honor your father and your mother, meaning you take care of them, you go see them, you call them. You know, sometimes I ask people, well, how often do you see your parents? Oh, once a month. I said, that's not enough. How often do you call them? Well, you know, every few days. No, 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 no. Every day. You should call them every day. You should go see them way more than once a month. You say, well, I don't live with them. I'm gone. I live somewhere else. Then make the effort to be with them as much as possible, because you'll regret it one day. One day they'll be gone, and you will regret the fact that you did not spend more time with your parents, because you don't know when they'll go. My dad, 2 weeks before he died, nobody knew he had anything wrong with him. He was strong. He was 6'2". He was pure health and strength. And he was in the garage and picking up a box, and he felt something tear in his lungs. He had been smoking for years, not knowing he was dying because the smoke, the cigarettes that he was smoking, were harming his lungs. He picks up this box and he feels something in his chest. He goes to the doctor, and the doctor said to him, "You'll be dead in 2 weeks. You have cancer." My daddy did not believe it because he didn't feel it. Even after he felt that thing in his chest, he was still feeling strong and energetic and all that. And we all thought, well, it can't be real. We also thought, well, maybe the doctor made a mistake. I called the doctor myself in Orlando, because my dad at that time had come and lived in Florida with my mom. They helped us raise Jessica. At the time, Jessie was just born. The same year he died is when Jessie was born. And now she's 45 years old, somewhere there. And so I called the doctor. I said, "Doctor, please tell me." He said, "Your father has cancer, because it showed up in the blood test. And he will be dead in 2 weeks." It shook me up. I went and told my dad. I said, "That's what he said." "Oh," he said, "I don't believe it. because he was going by his feelings. He flew back to Canada to see his own doctor in Toronto. And they put him in the hospital, Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto. I'm preaching in Pensacola, Florida, when I get the call that my dad is in the hospital. I thought he was going to go see a doctor for a second opinion kind of thing, you know, even though I heard from the doctor in Orlando, and I believe the doctor in Orlando was right. And I told my mom, that doctor that Dad saw is telling us the truth. He just said, well, your daddy wants a second opinion. So fine, but still. Goes up there to Canada. His own doctor tells him the same thing. They rush him into the hospital. And my dad now is flying to, I'm in Pensacola, right before he went to Canada, by the way. I didn't want to miss it, sharing this with you. My flight was delayed. I was preaching in a big church up there. So my daddy wanted to go see his doctor in Canada. I said, Dad, I'm going to fly in, so let me say bye to you before you go. We missed each other because my flight was late. And at the airport, his flight was taken off when my flight was landing. He gets to the hospital that same day. He's in the hospital. I go up there the day after. I fly up there. And he is already, they numbed his body, gave him morphine. I could not even communicate with him. I stood there crying. I'm thinking, how could this be that he can be gone that fast? And the nurse said, well, we can remove the morphine a little bit and maybe you can talk to him, but he would be in pain. I said, well, I don't know that, I want that, but she said, he can hear you. I said, well, that's all I want. And I began talking to him knowing he can hear me, but, I could not talk. I couldn't hear him because I didn't want him to feel pain in his body to say anything to me. Do you know that I think about that every time I see his picture? Every time I think about it. And I think, oh Lord, only if I knew, I would have spent more time. I would have talked to him more. And I made that decision when he was gone. I'm going to not miss it with my mother. Every day at 6 p.m., the phone would ring, and I would call her every night at 6 p.m. She would wait for my call. Wherever I was in the world, I don't care. At 6 p.m., Florida time, because she lived here in Toronto, she would go back and forth. I would call her. Do you know there's one phone number I cannot erase from my phone? That's my mom's number. Because they're dear to us. Yeah. What are you doing about it? You that still have that precious dad is still living. Have a mom that's still living. Are you really spending time with them? You know what I tell those guys? Cherish them. Cherish every moment with them. Don't ever ignore a phone call from them, no matter what. No, nothing is more important than your dad calling you and your mom calling you. You can tell whoever you work for, I'm sorry, I just got to see if they're okay. Honor your father and mother. Your dad is gone, isn't it, Jeff? Yes, sir. You feel the same way I do, don't you? Absolutely. My mother too. Yeah. But you feel it because, and there are people I'm talking to that haven't gone through that. They they haven't experienced it, and I'm trying to really help you not to go through the pain of regret, because you can't. It's like something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. To say to yourself, "Oh, how I wish! Oh, how I wish I could have been there! How I wished I could have called him and spent time with him."